So now we have 1 and 3/7. So we know that the whole number we do not touch, do not change it to an improper fraction. 1 and, so the minute I say the word and, I put a decimal point, and the decimal portion of the number is going to come from the fraction 3/7. 3/7 is 3 divided by 7. 7 is in the denominator, so it's the divisor. 3 sits inside. We know we're going to do decimal division. So put a decimal point right after the whole number. 7 goes 0 times into 3. Add a 0 after the decimal point. Adding any number of zeros is fine. 7 3s are 21. 7 4s are 28. 7 goes 4 times into 30, and it's a remainder of 2. You get 2 when we subtract, and then bring the next 0 down. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract to get a 6. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract to get a 4. Bring the 0 down. 7 5s are 35. Subtract to get a 5. Bring another 0 down. 7 7s are 49. Subtract to get a 1. Bring another 0 down. 7 goes 1 times into 10. Subtract to get a 3. Bring the next 0 down. 7 4s are 28. Subtract and then you can keep subtracting, you can keep dividing, but you notice that you're going to get the same numbers. See the pattern repeating. You have a 30, then a 20, and that's exactly what's happening here. So the entire sequence 4 2 8 5 7 1, 4 2 8 5 7 1, the entire sequence is going to repeat again. So what we have is 4 2 8 5 7 1, 4 2 8 5 7 1, and it goes on and on. So the sequence of numbers that are repeating are 4 2 8 5 7 1. So put a bar over the entire sequence of numbers. So this is a repeating decimal. So let's make this a 6. It doesn't make sense that it's a 9/7 because it's an improper fraction. So we have 4 and 6/7. 7 is the divisor, so you know it's going to be 4 point something. Now we have to round the decimal point to the 10th place, so we don't have to go too far. So if we have to round it to the 10th place, we only need to know what's in the 100th place. So let's see, we know it's going to be a decimal. Put your decimal point. 7 goes 0 times into 6. Subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. Bring the 0 down. 7 7s are 49. 7 8s are 56. We subtract, it's a 56. Subtract to get a 4. Bring the next digit down. 7 times 5 is 35. Subtract. And it doesn't matter what we get because we're going to stop here. Remember again, we have to round it to the tenths place. All we need to know is what's in the hundredths place. And then the rest really doesn't matter. We're going to look. So this is the tenths place. Look one place value to the right and it tells you to round up. So therefore we get 4.9. So when you have to round numbers, and just remember that when you have to round numbers, don't keep going on and on until you get recurrence, because we don't really need to know what's in any other place value other than the hundredths place. So stop at the hundredths place and you're done. The next problem is, again, it says rounded to the tenths place. So here, notice that we're going to divide by 37, which is not easy. So what we'll do is, since we have to round it to the tenths place, we have to go only 2 decimal place values. So this is a proper fraction. So it's going to be 0 point something. The divisor is 37. So it sits outside. And we have 17 inside. We know that we have to do decimal division. So put a decimal point. 37 goes 0 times into 17 because 17 is less than 37. Bring the 0 down. So we have to find out how many times 37 goes into 170. Now 37 is pretty close to 40. So if we go 40 times 4, that's an easy one. 4 times 4 is 16. Just add a 0. So if it is 37, it would be 37 times 4. 7 4s are 28. 4 3s are 12, 13, 14. So 37 goes 4 times. Let's see. The remainder has to be less than 37. 8, 9, 10. So that's 2. This becomes a 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So that's a 22, less than a 37. So we know that this is correct. This has to be less than a 37. If not, we go to the next step. So this is add a 0, 220. How many times does 37 go into 220? 40, 4 ones are 4, 4 5s are 20. So 5 times 4 is 20, and that gives us 200. When we multiply these two, we get a 200. So that should be the case. 37 times 5. 7 times 5 is 35. 5 3s are 15, 16, 17, 18. So let's see. 5 is 185. So that is 185. We subtract. 5 plus 5 is 10. That becomes 11. That's a 35, which is less than 37. So 37 does go 5 times into 220. We're going to stop here because we have to round it to the tenths place. We only need to know what's in the hundredths place. So that is 0.5. 5 says round up, so we add 1 to 4 to get a 0.5. So 0.45 dot dot dot, we don't know what's ahead, is equal to 0.5. So a quick recap of what we've done in this section. We have done we've converted fractions to decimals. And how did we do this? By long division. Suppose we have, let's say, 5/8. We do long division. 5 inside, 8, the divisor is outside. And we know it's going to be 0 point something because it's a proper fraction. Now, if it's a terminating decimal, you know because you get a remainder of 0. If it is not a terminating decimal, then it has to be a recurring decimal. And that you soon figure out when digits or a sequence of digits start repeating or recurring. Another thing we did was division. Let's say we have 25 and 5/8. So it's division for sure. We're going to do division. 5 divided by 8. So we have 8 outside, 5 inside. So remember not to change this to an improper fraction. Just keep it as 25 point something. And that decimal portion of the number comes from dividing 5 by 8. And that's how you get your decimal portion. Make sure you put your decimal point and then add any number of zeros to do decimal division.